Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? I'm still in my complex, so my shirt is buttoned too because they'd like me to button too while I'm in my homeowners area. But I just want to do some rant. I want to talk about. Sometimes I learn from movies as well as entertainment. They're actually lessons for me, and I want to talk about one in particular that I like. You ever heard of Trinity Broadcasting TBN? There's a movie came out in the 2000s or something like that. I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but it was called Six, just SIX, like the number six, as in 666. It was about the end times, but when the Antichrist is ruling, that's why it's called Six. Oh, it's called Six, the Beast Unleashed. That's what the full title of the movie is. And I want to rant about this movie and what I learned from it. If that's okay, check it out if you like. So the good guy is played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's the protagonist, and there's a bad guy played by Brad Heller, Heller. He has shaved head, and he's the evil guy. He's like the worst dude, and this guy's bad too. So one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. See, they've learned in the future in this movie to torture without actually hurting your physical body. They do electro stimulation or whatever it is. Who knows if that might even be possible, actually. So he's strapped up to this machine or something that Jeffrey Morgan is at the end or toward the end. And Brad Heller is torturing him with this machines that you can't, that are making Jeffrey Dean Morgan feel all the pain of everything that Brad Heller wants him to feel. Like, all right, now you're experiencing glass in your eye. Feel this, and Jeffrey Dean's screaming and all that, without anything happening to his physical eye. It's all neuro. What would Elon Musk say? Neurolinking. This is probably possible, actually. And they get Brad Heller and Jeffrey Dean Morgan kind of get a camaraderie, like you often do when you're under a hostage situation. I had that with my dad, believe it or not. At the same time as he was hitting me, I also, I don't know. I thought of him as a protector too, because I know that he's why nobody was hurting me in the house, coming in the house at night and stealing from us, because he has loaded shotguns above his headboard. And I just felt like protected by him at the same time as I was actually being hit by him. So that's actually a duality that I've experienced. But they're kind of getting a camaraderie together, actually. But Brad Heller is just torturing Jeffrey Dean Morgan, And here's what I learned from it, and I really like about this movie. It's the lesson I learned. It's toward the end. The last Jeffrey Dean Morgan didn't win by just being a tough guy and enduring the pain directly, and that's all he did and all he had to do. Guess what he did? He said something that Brad Heller didn't expect. He said, "I love you." He told Brad Heller, "I love you," and Brad Heller that made Brad Heller's head turn. He goes, "What was that?" And he goes. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan says, "I forgive you." And he said, "Perfect love casts out fear." And that's how he won. He won the battle of the mind by, instead of hating Brad Heller and just propagating the hate, he chose instead to forgive Brad Heller and turn the other cheek, so to speak. And that love, that selflessness, made the pain endurable at the end. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan actually, I forget exactly how it ends. I think, I'm not sure if right now I don't remember if he's rescued or if he dies and gets resurrected to heaven. I don't really remember. I mean, it came out in like 2003 or something, and I just haven't seen it. I maybe saw it once since then, and saw it when it came out. But I think that's very, that's very deep, It's like when you turn the other cheek to your enemy, the Bible says you're casting hot coals on their head, and that's not just like torturing them necessarily. but you're softening their mind, you know, and you make them think, that you make them that you make them question their own self by you forgiving them. It puts it on them. It exposes them as the perpetrator, so to speak, and that's actually the way to win, and that's what Jesus did too, you know. Yes, Jesus could have gotten down from the cross and spared himself, but first of all, he wouldn't have got to have the pleasure of knowing that he just saved millions of people with what he did. And like I said in my Jesus theory, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Jesus must have had profound joy in what he did, because just knowing how much he was helping us, and that was greater than the pain that he experienced on the cross, which helped him stay on the cross instead of just showing these assholes who he was. So I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.